Hi students, hopefully everybody's doing okay still. This is Mrs. Corpy and I am going to talk about moving on within the painting. So what you see in front of you is my canvas. Here is my image that I'm working with again. And I've got about 3 layers on the background. I have 2 layers on my middle ground, and now I'm ready to start working on my middle into foreground area. So what you're going to see me doing once I change this into time lapse, I'm going to be painting these little birds. I'm going to be doing a little bit of blotting along the edge. You'll see me flipping back and forth between the sand and the boat. What I spent some time doing was mixing up my sand colors. And then last, I've got just a little bit of dry brush grass that I'll be doing over the top of this as kind of like a finishing touch. So, first thing I did was I needed to figure out what my sand color was. And we all know sand is brown, again. However, this particular scene shows a little bit of a purple cast, and that's just the light from the sunrise reflecting on the sand and kind of changing the color a little bit, because that's what happens in nature. Please remember that no shadows are ever black, and we make shadows by mixing our complementary colors. Also, that's how you dull out colors to make things look more natural within nature. So hopefully you will notice that there's some value behind working with this complements worksheet. I'm working with a yellow and violet to get a little bit of that muted or neutral brown color. So here's my 2 paint colors that I've been playing around with, and I like to start off this process where I need to add value and do some modeling and shading by making at least 3 different colors. And a lot of times what I end up doing is I end up mixing 2 colors and mixing 2 colors and kind of making middles as I go. This is my mid-tone. I have a darker brown, which really is more violet than yellow in this mixture, for my shadow color. And then I've got a little white mixed in here for my highlight. But the base of all this color is yellow and violet. And I do want to let you know that this mid-tone here does have a little bit of white in it. This has no white at all. So you can see it's a very neutral brown. So those are my 3 colors, and that's what I'm going to be working with. Now the next thing that I do is I need to figure out how I'm going to paint this texture. If you notice the background close to the boat, you can't really see a lot of detail. So what I'm going to end up doing up here, and this is just a little practice piece that I've been using to figure out my brush stroke and my colors before I do it. So I'm going to take my brush and I'm going to do a little bit of blotting, and it's going to look like this, kind of a stamping motion. And I'm going to make that sand line going all the way across here. Now, in the foreground area, once I get down here, I'm going to have to figure out how to make the sand look like it has footprints, like it's not perfectly groomed. So what I'm doing is 2 different testers. Here's where I did a wet on wet technique, just putting different brush strokes of all my 3 different colors down and then trying to softly touch them in order to get them to blend. On this sample right here, what I did was I made a base layer of my mid-tone, and then I added a little bit of shadow and highlight and used a little bit more of a smooth technique to blend those ones together. Okay, so there's a little bit of difference. You might mix and match a little bit. What I think I'll end up doing is doing this as a first layer and adding a little bit of texture with my paintbrush on top as a second layer. So I'm going to turn this into a time lapse. Please let me know if you need help along the way, and I'm always here for you, so email me anytime. Thanks so much, guys.